Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Only Land Fan Show. My name is Kendall Lejeune, and our guest today is Callan Faulkner. Callan Faulkner, an accomplished entrepreneur, has found success through her passion for automation and efficiency. With a background in marketing and technology automation, she has assisted Fortune 5000 companies in developing robust systems for B2C lead generation. As she honed her lead generation strategies for her land business, she attracted attention from other real estate investors seeking similar solutions for modern lead generation, including texting, ringless voicemail, and cold calling, as well as automation like CRM, ChatGPT, and Zapier. This inspired Callan to create REI Optimize, a consulting company dedicated to helping real estate investors scale their businesses by setting up effective systems and generating consistent leads. Through her innovative approach and automation expertise, Callan has become a trailblazer in the land investing niche, sharing her knowledge and empowering others to succeed. Callan, thanks so much for joining us. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me, Kendall.
Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure. Since we have set this up, I could not, I've been so excited to talk about this because this is a really hot topic right now. And who better to have than the premier optimization coach than Ms. Callan Faulkner. So
I
thank you
love
so
it.
much for joining us.
I love that. Premier optimization coach. I think I need to
Yes,
trademark that. I love it.
it's yours. It's yours.
Okay,
So,
great.
Callan, talk to us a little bit about how you went from this land business operator experience to this role of optimization coach using AI.
Yeah, it was a slow burn. I started my land business in 2021. I had come from technology, automation, Fortune 5000, big CRM implementation. So if you guys know Salesforce, HubSpot, I was doing that for big companies, and not all of them, but many are using Excel docs. And so I got pretty obsessed with, oh my gosh, we can make this so much easier for people. We can make their lives better. I got into land investing and felt, oh, this is my path to leaving technology in the past. I'm going to move on to this new thing. I'm going to do real estate. And pretty quickly, I realized our entire land investing business is systems, automation, buying our time back, making things run efficiently. So really quickly, my first course I ever did was on Pebble. For those of you who know Pebble, back in the day, I was doing Zapier with Pebble, tons of stuff with automating the landing pages and all this cool stuff to get land investors' time back. So throughout my journey, I've created a couple different courses. I have a launch control texting course. I've got a ringless voicemail course. I've got the cold email course coming out. So lead gen has been a big piece of getting that part automated. And then now that AI has come out, it's really been this new evolution of, yes, we have Zapier. Yes, we have automation, but oh my gosh, now we have this whole other tool set that we didn't have before that can allow us to get our time back and become more efficient, which, if you know me, I'm obsessed with that.
That's your jam, that's your lane. I absolutely love that. So, can you talk a little bit about what made you realize that AI could really improve your land investing business?
Yeah. So the first thing I ever saw with ChatGPT, of course, I was in ChatGPT. I'm like, oh, cool. It can make a land listing. Like, nice. Okay. We're all probably all doing that at some point. So funny. I'm not going to call who it was out, but somebody posted in your Facebook group. Is anyone using ChatGPT? Do we really need to create more content? Okay. That is 0.0001% of what AI is doing for my land business. So yes, of course, the content that was cool. The first thing I saw, I was like, oh my gosh. So it was this, I was on a webinar and this guy was demoing going on Loom. You guys know what Loom is? If you don't know what Loom is, just pop in the chat. It's a video recording software. I'm sure most of us know what it is. And he was recording himself talking about his inbound lead process. So what do we do when a lead comes into the business? What is the 5-minute overview of what you do in his business? He was a marketing business, but for us, it's like whenever we do the 5 minutes lead review. He recorded the video on Loom. He took the transcript. Thank you, Brad. And he put that transcript into ChatGPT and he told ChatGPT, you are a world-class SOP writer. I want you to write a SOP document with headings and bullet points as if you were delivering it to the COO of a land investing or whatever, of a marketing business. And here is the transcript of the video of me describing the process start to finish. He put the transcript, he copied and pasted the transcript in, he used that prompt, and he pressed go, and he had this perfect SOP. It was probably like 90% there, right? He had to change a couple things on the document. But oh my gosh, it was the first time where I was like, okay, we're using prompts, we're using these things that we store somewhere. And every time we have to do a process, we go get the prompt and bring it in. We can talk more about that. I don't want to just throw keywords out there, but that was really the first aha for me. It was the SOP writing. And now I have tons and tons of prompts that I use in my land business.
I love it. I geek out so much about prompts and being able to see like they're really keys almost to these amazing frameworks that you can create, and there's really no limit other than just your imagination. So, can you talk a little bit about for people that don't really understand the structure of what a really good prompt may look like? Can you talk a little bit
Yeah.
about what do really quality prompts
Yep.
have as key components?
Can you guys pop in the chat? I know this is a podcast. Sorry, podcast people. You should be here live. Tell me a little bit about 1 to 10. One, you don't know anything about ChatGPT, and 10 is I'm in here every day. I'm obsessed. So I just want to know where we are so that I can cater to you guys. Okay. And this is probably a good, okay, all over the board. Awesome. So love it. I'm going to pretend like no one knows has ever even heard what a prompt is. So those of you that are a little more advanced, bear with me for a second. So a prompt is essentially a set of instructions for AI. So it's a piece of text and you give it to the model, you give it to ChatGPT, or we'll talk about Claude later, or Gemini. They're all AI models called large learning models that allow you to get back a response. And the goal is that it helps steer the AI's output towards a specific tone that you want the output to be, a specific structure, a specific style, a specific format. And I tell people all the time, we want to let AI breathe a little bit. And the way that we let AI breathe, instead of going into it and saying, I'm going to invest in Hernando County, Florida. Can you please give me a summary of Hernando County and why it's good for land investing? Okay, so it's okay. I don't know who am I? Like, what is my role? Who do you want me to be? So that's the first part of a really good prompt. If you guys have notes, you should take these down because this is the magic formula of prompt writing. So the first is defining what the role is for the prompt. So I have a prompt, for example, that can spin up legal documents, and I would not suggest to use that full and foremost. My attorney reviews my legal documents, but I still save a ton of money. In the role, it says you are a world-class attorney in state name. So right away, I'm putting parameters on it. It's not just spitting me back a random document from who knows where. It knows it's a world-class attorney, even a real estate attorney in Minnesota. The next is the objective. So the objective of the prompt is, what is the purpose? What are we trying to achieve? So let's say I'm doing a prompt. Let's say I'm gonna pull one up so we can just do an example of one. I'll do that world-class attorney one. So we're a world-class attorney to build a legal document. So the role is a world-class attorney with extensive experience in drafting legal documents in Minnesota. The objective is to create a comprehensive, legally sound, and state-specific document based on the provided document type. So I gave it an objective, legally sound. I want to be protected as much as possible. The structure is going to be, I want you to use your best. Usually I'll say, I want you to use your best judgment to create a structure of a document that makes sense. A couple more pieces of the magic formula. The second is a tone. So tone is really important if you guys are creating content like your land listings. So many people have land listings that are like, there is a 10-acre, gorgeous, beautiful property that will be keen for a buyer, like so outlandish and out there and emojis. I'm like, oh my God, clearly did not give it a tone to write in. I personally like to write in the tone of Simon Sinek or James Clear. He's the author of Atomic Habits. You can give it an author and it will write like that person. That's the tone. And then there's the goal. So the goal is, okay, what is the goal of what I'm going to give you back? What am I trying to do? So my goal for the world-class attorney is to provide me with a high quality, legally binding document that meets my specific needs and complies with the laws and regulations of the specified state. So instead of going in and just saying, hey, I need a purchase agreement in Minnesota, my prompt that I give it, all I'm giving it is the document type, some basic document details and the state, and then that prompt, and it's going to give me back such a better result than if I just went in there with 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah, that is so good. That is so good. And that's one of the things that I learned really quickly because I fell in that same boat as well. Like when everyone first started talking about Chat GPT, yeah, we're going to use it for land listings, but beyond that, okay. But the tone, like that is so
Yeah.
important because like you said, when you said keen, I was like, oh yeah,
Oh my
Chat
God. Bespoke.
GPT.
If you use bespoke, you're out. You're just out. I'm sorry. We can still be friends, but I will make fun of you.
I love that. I love that so much. So, zooming out now, can you talk a little bit about how has AI helped you to work smarter, not harder, and kind of balance work, life, um, all those things better in the way that
Oh
you
my God. I don't even know if I can put it into words. Let's just start with my life. So,
yeah.
everything from, I'm not kidding, in my prompt library, a therapists are going to have a rough go the next couple of years because when I am working through an issue, it already knows all of my stuff, my limiting beliefs, the things that happened to me as a kid. Like it knows, and I work through. I have one of my favorite authors. Her name is Brianna Wiest. She wrote a book called The Mountain Is You. So I have a prompt that talks like her, and I can communicate with her about things that are going on. If I am doing any sort of planning, like I'm going on a trip to Nashville tomorrow, we were looking at restaurants like ChatGPT, I can tell it I'm a foodie. I'm gluten free. I like farm to table. I'm more organic. It needs to be within 10 minutes of this area. It is like Google searching on steroids. So I'm using this for all of my research, my planning, my itineraries. I used it this week when I was planning out my tasks I need to get done this whole week. Because it knows the priorities, it knows my urgency, it knows where I'm going, and it knows my quarterly goals. So it can help me organize and prioritize my tasks. So with life, it's everything. It's constantly up on my phone. I'm constantly talking to it. In my land investing business, it is, oh my gosh, so many different things. I'll go just high level and we can go into anything. Building out, so analyzing zoning codes is huge. I have a land vision boot camp we just went through, and yesterday we did this a little bit. But you can put the entire zoning district, zoning code, zoning, everything from Muni code, just copy it all, give it to Claude, and you can tell it you're a world-class zoning expert. And I need to be able to ask you any sorts of questions about this zoning code, tell you about a property, and you need to tell me its development potential. Help you analyze subdivide opportunities. It's incredible. On the acquisition side, sales script generation, objection handling, I have it reviewing transcripts to check for, did we elicit emotion? How did we do with objections? Did we figure out motivation, budget, timeline? I have, of course, my on the cold email, cold texting side, and even letters, I have AI going through and hyper personalizing the marketing. So no letter that anyone sends should ever be the same, because you can go through an AI and you can personalize every single letter based on the lat and long of that property. So for example, we could have a template in the letter that says, and by the way, we love that your property is within a few hours of insert major international airport that is within 2 to 3 hours of lat long. And that airport name can just be dropped right into your letter template, your email template, your text template. We're getting insane response rates doing some of that stuff. Go
Now,
ahead.
Callan, let me ask you this really quickly. So, for those of us who are listening to this and thinking, okay, that sounds amazing, do I have to manually go in and change every
Oh,
single letter? Is there some type of
no,
massive mail merge on steroids kind of thing that we can get AI to do all of that
absolutely.
individualization for us?
Yes. So this is where there's ChatGPT. That's like the main usage of AI that everyone's used to right now. But there are these incredible AI apps out there that exist that we're working with every day that don't have anything to do with ChatGPT, that are using AI on the backside. One of the apps that I'm constantly using is called clay.com, CLAY. And that is where I'm doing the hyper personalization of my seller leads inside of that tool.
Amazing. That is amazing. Love that. Okay, sorry. I wanted to just
No, no, I'm just
kind of
rambling at
catch
this
that.
point. We could do this for an hour. So yeah, it's they're researching a new market. It's hey, I'm going into Hernando County and I want to know the top land brokers. I want to know the GIS link, the recorder link, the assessor link. Like it is every single part of your business is going to be touched by this.
Hey, land fans! Looking for your tribe of serious land investors? Join thousands of your fellow land lovers in the Only Land Fans Facebook group. We're talking real deals, expert strategies, and game changing connections you won't find anywhere else. This isn't just another real estate group, this is the community where land investors come to level up. Join us at onlylandfansgroup.com and join the conversation today. That's onlylandfansgroup.com. See you there. Wow, that's incredibly powerful. I want to back up a little bit because this question came to mind, especially when you were talking about the life piece of it, where you said you're talking to ChatGPT as if it was some of your favorite authors or
Yeah.
using it for some type of therapy, things like that. How does it know that stuff? Are you like creating like some type of bank of
Profile.
knowledge? Yeah. It's like how does
Yeah,
that
exactly. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Inside of ChatGPT, there's something called memory. So you could absolutely put it into your memory, and the memory is saved across all chats. So no matter what, memory is there. I have in my ChatGPT environment, I use profiles. So when I am going in to start a chat, I'll just change my profile to, okay, this is me, Callan, human being. Here are my limiting beliefs. Here are my biggest anxieties. Here are my biggest fears. Here, and I have it all written out in my profile of these are all the things you need to know about me. And I will choose that profile when I'm starting the chat
Hmm,
with Brianna in quotation marks.
cool. Okay, that makes total sense. So AI is not this all-knowing thing. Like you have to actually give it information, right?
You go. I
Yeah.
have not implanted a chip in my brain yet. If I do, I'll let you know.
I'm sure Elon Musk is right around the corner with some type of technology like
Oh
that.
God. I don't know. I'm probably out, honestly. Probably out.
Yeah, I think I'm right on the cusp of that too. I think I'm like, yeah, okay, that I think that's where I may draw the line.
Yeah.
So, Callan, let's talk a little bit about what's been the most surprising way that AI has actually changed your daily operations.
Yeah, I think it's the even the other day, like when I'm just feeling that feeling when you're just like, I'm cloudy, I'm brain foggy. What do I need to work on? Like what is happening right now in my life? What do I need to do next? Just to start, I'm a verbal processor, so oftentimes I'll call a friend or call someone, call you, Kendall, and be like, "Hey, can you talk me through this?" This has been such a great blessing to have this thing where I can just go in and I just pop it open and I just start talking to it. Like I just turn on the microphone and I'm like, "Hey, this is what's going on right now. I'm feeling kind of brain fog. I know I need to work on this project and that project. I just need you to help me work through it." And it will respond and it'll say, okay. And it'll ask me a bunch of questions, tell me what's happening. Just the basics of like really helping me work through prioritization, planning, daily schedule. I'm in there every morning planning my day out. I think just the, like, okay, so you asked me to fill out some things before we had this conversation, right? Like you asked me, like, what should the headline be? What questions should I ask you? Just literally go into Claude. I'm like, I'm going on this podcast. This is me. Here's my website. Fill this form out. And I just copied and pasted it and sent it to your VA.
Yeah.
Not, it probably would have taken me like 15, 20 minutes. And it's not even about the time. I recently read a book called Levels of Energy, and it's just about the energy expenditure. If I can make those little tasks throughout the day just take such little energy, I have it banked. So now I can just get so much more done in a day without feeling exhausted.
That is so good. And I tell you what, I've been on some of your AI master classes, and that's definitely something that I borrowed because when I used to ask ChatGPT, I would do the prompting and I would put in the elements, but it was just like a one kind of like a one-way thing where I'd ask it and then it would give me stuff back. But I'm also a verbal processor, and that completely changed the game whenever I could have, because sometimes I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Ask me a question. I don't know what I want. Ask me a question, and it
Right.
will ask me one question. I can respond, and then we can have a conversation. And that has completely changed the game.
For
Completely.
sure. I just did this the other day. I was like going back and forth on like how I needed to present a situation to a seller that had been waiting a long time for their contract to close, but we weren't able to close because of financing. They just did not believe the price of the land. And we probably needed to go back and do some entitlement work to really increase the value. I went in to ChatGPT and I was like, this is the situation. And I really need your help role playing this on how best to present the situation to the seller. I want you to give me an email template and a call script. I want you to give me 4 objections you think they might give me and responses.
That's next level.
And
That is.
imagine yes, Netta, I love that. His brain exploded. You're training your team to do this. They're not coming to you saying, "Oh, the seller is saying we have to close in 30." What does ChatGPT say? Did you give them the whole situation? Did you use our prompt, our objection handling prompt? Like, did you? No, you didn't. Okay, go back. Like I have Dan Martell has the 1-3-1 rule. Well, one problem, you bring me 3 solutions, and then you tell me what the best solution is that you think. That rule has never been more easy to implement now that they can literally go into this thing and have a world class sales coach at their fingertips. Now, you have to coach the sales coach a little bit. You got to have the right prompt built and you got to massage it a little bit. But if you can spend time on that prompt, sometimes I'll spend an hour on the prompt, making the prompt perfect because I know in the future, my team, all they're going to do is just put in the transcript of their sales call to get advice on how they need to handle the next step. And they don't even need me. Thank God.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Brilliant. So I've also heard you talk about how you'll hire different consultants, different coaches to help with different areas of your business or your life. And then you can create frameworks based on what that coach has taught you. And then basically now you have that coach on tap
That's
via
right.
AI. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's right, for sure. One of my buddies, Rick Rao, we're partnering on a lot of subdivide entitlement deals. And actually, one of the things we're working on earlier is he has a whole framework around minor subdivides. These are the 10 things you have to do in the due diligence process. So I'm like, okay, let's get Rick's framework into a prompt where I can give it the APN, the lot size, and it will work me through. Okay, did you do this? Did you do that? What's this situation here? And it's basically like having a little mini Rick. He's not mini, he's a big guy. Big Rick in at my fingertips to work me through. And again, it's not me. This is me right now, but this is allowing my team. Some of you guys, English isn't even your first language, and you're trying to do things that we don't even know how to do. That is the real benefit here, where you're giving your team the ability to have this person right away. Hey, did you check utilities? What's the situation there? Let me know when you find that. Oh, I didn't look at sewer line. And oh, how would I find sewer line? The best thing to do is reach out to your local sewer department. What county are you in? This county. It will give you, it can search the internet. We don't even realize yet what's happening.
Gosh,
I am seeing it, but it's insane.
that's remarkable. It is literally, and I don't use the term like game changing or transformative often, but this is
Yeah,
game changing.
it
I
is.
mean, it literally is. It's a whole other level. So it sounds like there's so many different like apps and applications and to use this type of technology. How do you stay ahead of the curve and find new AI tools that can help you with your business?
Yeah, I'm a psycho. I did hire an AI coach about 6 months ago. He's been instrumental, very expensive, but he's been like every single thing that's come out. We have had a call twice a week for the last 6 months. And he just will go through and be like, you need to see this, you need to see this, you need to see this. Like these 3 things are going to be huge for you. Even random tools that I'm obsessed with biohacking and optimizing my life and sleep hacks. So he knows all this. So he's really bringing me everything. And then honestly, I make the joke that if it's like quiet in my house, I probably will turn on some sort of AI YouTube video of just what's happening because it's happening so fast that I have had to just really dive in. And now It's almost like I've learned this skill. So you can bring me an issue and now I have that. I can build it now in my head versus before I had no idea the power of prompts. Now I've seen 1,000 prompts. And so now it's okay. Got it. We're going to build it like this.
If you're enjoying this episode of the Only Land Fans podcast, please let us know by subscribing and leaving a review. Now let's get back to the action. So cool. So I'm going to jump back into some nuts and bolts of the land industry. So one of the things, let's talk through a use case.
Yep.
So one of the things that I've seen a lot of people struggle with is how do I find a market to even start marketing to? Could you give us like an overview of how you would personally go through that process of using AI to find markets and then to evaluate the market?
Yeah, I literally, because I was actually working with Rick on this because he has a whole framework around finding markets. One of the hot tips I'll give you is the sell through rate. So, one of the things is we look at how many properties are for sale right now, and then how many properties have sold in the last 12 months. So, he's trying to make sure that the sell through rate, I think, is over 0.8. Someone tell me if that's right or wrong, if that feels right. Over 80%. So what he was doing is manually going through on Redfin, and he would look at all the properties for sale and all the properties that are sold. And he had a Google sheet up, and he was like marking it down. He's like, okay, there's been 1,000 properties sold, and there's 1,200 that are for sale. Okay, the sell through rate is the number of sold properties divided by the total number of properties that are for sale. Okay, sell through rate is whatever, 1,000 divided by 1,200. I went on Redfin and I downloaded all the for sale properties for the last 12 months. Sorry, that are on the market right now, 0 to 1,000 acres, whatever. I downloaded all the properties that have sold the last 12 months and I put it in ChatGPT and I said, hey, I need to calculate the sell through rate for all these land properties. I'm going to give you 2 CSV files. I want you to read the data. I want you to extract the relevant columns. And I want you to calculate the sell through rate for each acreage increment that I'm going to give you 0.25 to 1, 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 plus. So then I put that in there and boom, it just created the sell through rate for every acreage increment. So I could easily see which acreage increment was selling through the fastest in that market.
That is killer.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And I think that's I came a little late to the party in realizing that ChatGPT, the power that ChatGPT has just in analyzing data, the fact that you can put
Oh my God.
CSV files and ask it questions and it can literally interpret data. That is remarkable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I have, yes, over 0.8, over 80%. It should be the sell through rate. Yeah, imagine, is anyone on here do any texting or ringless voicemails like you guys using direct skip? Even if you just pull your data from data tree, there's all these things that we do to clean the data, scrub the data. I had almost a full-time VA that would pull the list and then they would clean. I'm using Land Vision to pull data because it's unlimited. But one of the things you can't do with Land Vision is remove duplicates, and some things come out in all caps. And then I put it in direct skip and I get the phone numbers and I have to merge those documents back together. It was like a 3-hour process. I now give it the Land Vision document, I give it the direct skip document, and I have a whole prompt. And I say, keep these columns in this document, these columns in this document. Hey, by the way, can you please calculate portfolio owners while you're doing it? So add a column called portfolio owner, yes or no. How many do they own? Yeah, it's like you just press go and it does it.
Wow. Like rocket fuel to your business.
Yes. Yes. It makes me so
Gosh.
excited. It like makes me giddy, honestly. It's like,
I love
and
it.
no one, it's the best part is no one liked that task. No one
Right.
that was the worst. That was the worst. Like when we starting a new campaign, everyone was like, ugh, we gotta go do this. And now to give them the gift of like, all you gotta do is just put these 2 things in here. It takes 5 minutes. And it's done.
It's remarkable. But I know that you're a visionary. I'm a visionary. I know lots of business owners here on that are listening to this are probably also fall into that visionary category. If I have to look at a spreadsheet longer than 10 minutes, I start
Oh,
melting.
10
right? So,
seconds. I'm over. It's
so
over.
I'm
Yeah.
like, throw it into ChatGPT and then let me ask it questions. Like, and I sometimes I don't even know what questions I need to be asking, but you tell me what questions I need to be asking, and then I'll ask
100%.
that. So good. So what would you say to land investors that are hearing this and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much opportunity, which is incredible, but that's also, it could be intimidating. Like, how do I get started?
Yeah.
Like, scared to start implementing this in their business. What would you say to those land investors?
Yeah. What I would say is we've done this before in our lives. Some of you guys may have not had an iPhone. I know I didn't. We all had flip phones. Some of us never knew what Zapier was. Some of us hadn't used the internet. There's all these big moments in our lives that we've blacked out probably that we don't remember how intense it was of learning this new thing. But this is the moment that we're at right now where there's this brand new thing and I know it feels so overwhelming. I recently did a masterclass and I pulled the room and about half the room was like, it almost created a sense of anxiety in their bodies, like a little bit of like stomach cramp, a little bit of test. Yeah, Dusty's hell yeah. Yeah, this is a little tight chest. Yeah, I totally get it because it feels impossible. This is you 3 years from now, every single one of you guys is going to be like, oh, we all have primed libraries. Like we all have zaps. We all have zaps in our business. And before it was like, I don't even know what the hell that is. This is just going to be the way. So part of it is just like taking that breath and being like, okay, I'm accepting that I need to learn this new thing. My team and I need to learn this new thing. And we're just saying it into the universe. Like we are going to know how to use this. We're not going to be AI prompt engineers. No one is, but you will learn how to do this. Every single person on this call. It's going to be non-negotiable. And it's
Hmm.
not that bad. It's not that bad. It really isn't. It's honestly Zapier is way worse than this. Zapier doesn't help you. Zapier's wrong, error. At least ChatGPT, you can be like,
Broken.
what did I do wrong?
I love it. I love it. So you mentioned that there is not going to be an area of our businesses that AI is not going to touch. So with all of that, what's the number one strategy that you wish you would have started using earlier, using AI in your land business? Listen up, land fans. This is huge. We're bringing you the one and only Pace Morby, star of A&E's Triple Digit Flip and the mastermind behind $450 million in real estate deals. He's coming to our virtual meetup on Thursday, December 5th to share how he's applying his creative financing genius to land deals. Head to olfmeetup.com to save your spot today. That's olfmeetup.com. This is the kind of opportunity that changes everything.
Probably, God, so many. I think maybe just on the acquisition side, I really wish, like, I'm doing a ton of texting. I think you guys know me as that. I'm now creating new texting templates because I have a prompt to build it for each area. And I'm making each template completely unique. Like this unique marketing piece, I think is probably the thing I'm like, oh, I should have done this. There isn't really earlier. Like this is all 4 months old. So it's not like I waited too long, but I think in terms of impact on, and I'm just so obsessed with my marketing numbers and tracking my response rates and that. So I think that I wish I had maybe jumped on a little bit earlier. And then I think just I started getting obsessed with it, but I forgot to train everyone else around me. And that's probably the thing I would have done from the very beginning. Why was my team not joining the calls with the AI coach? Why was I not sending my team, hey, you should watch this part of the AI YouTube video? And so now I'm seeing them do things even now. I'm like, you did that manually? Like, what the heck are you doing? So if you start to learn this, just don't forget to bring everyone else along with you because you need it at the front lines. Like I said, even just due diligence questions and hey, how would I find the water service company in this city or this county? What would be my options? Who is the power? Your team is the one that's answering those questions. Bringing them along is something I totally missed.
That's so good. That's so good. Because again, it goes back to that Dan Martell 131 thing, right? Of you're helping them to think for themselves and helping them to get AI to help think for them, which is amazing. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So cool. So, can you talk a little bit about some automation integrations that you've seen with AI? We've talked a little bit about creating individualized marketing, but what other really cool automations have you seen AI use to just optimize process?
Yeah. One of the really cool things, this is going to be tough. It depends on what your phone system is. But for a lot of my clients that use open phone, you're talking about Zapier with ChatGPT.
Yes.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is going to be a
Or
little
any
next.
any automations that you see this is killer.
Yeah. I'll talk about Zapier together with ChatGPT and mirroring those things together. Does everyone know what Zapier is? Pop in the chat. You guys, are we little thumbs up if we know what Zapier is? Just want to make sure. Zapier is like the glue that holds our apps together so we can have triggers and actions. If something happens, okay, cool, Doug, you've heard about it. For example, in OpenPhone, when a call ends, we can trigger that transcript to be sent to Zapier. And in Zapier, we can have ChatGPT as an action. So I can take that transcript, I can run it through my prompt. If you guys know Jeremy Miner, he's a real estate investing acquisitions coach, really great at cold calling, converting leads into clients over the phone. I built a custom script that acts like Jeremy Miner and reviews the call transcript. And he gives advice on how the call could have been improved, excuse me. He runs through his prompt automatically. The notes that come back, the output from that prompt goes back into OpenPhone right into the notes section.
Mm.
So as a manager, I'm going through and I'm doing call reviews. You could also just drop it into a Google Sheet. I have that happening too. So every week we do call reviews. We can listen to it, but let's see what Jeremy said before we go listen to the call.
That is so good. That is
So fun.
just
But
so
that's where
good.
it goes back to. I think a lot of people are like, oh, we won't have, there's going to be no humans left. No, like Jeremy Miner has a framework around calling and acquisitions, and every single one of you guys has some sort of framework. Or my honey hole when I first started land investing was Pahrump, Nevada. I had a very specific framework to comping land there. There are really secret things about water rights, and there's really interesting things about each neighborhood, and each zip code's a little bit different. I could pump that information and build I don't want to call it a custom GPT because I don't really like the custom GPTs inside of GPT, but I can use that framework to automate my process. But it did not get rid of the fact that I had to go find a realtor in Pahrump that knew what the hell was going on there. Like I still had to go extract all that information. And then now I'm automating the process by getting that information into the system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's really good. So when you first started implementing AI into your land business, what were some of the challenges that you had that made it difficult, or you were like, okay, hold on, this is not just a plug and play.
Yeah.
How did that look for you?
Just how to talk to it. What do you say to it? How do you? It's just like when you start building a Zap. I'm like, what? A path, a filter, a what? Like I didn't. It was like I wanted to build a house, and I had the power drill, and I was like, okay, I can do this, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm building. And I think after just building those prompts and honestly sitting there late at night, and I'm like messing with it, and it's not giving me what I want. It's not giving me what I want, and then it gives me what I want. It's like that it starts to click over and over. I'm like, oh, okay. I finally understand what it's saying. So you guys are all going to get in there. You're going to start building your own prompts, and you're like, it is not giving me what I needed to give me. And it's just because it doesn't have the right instructions. And so now it's like this new skill that we're all going to be developing over the next year or two of really communicating with ChatGPT of how to really get it to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it, that it is a skill. It's a skill that we
Yep.
all have to develop in how to use this technology. It's not, we didn't try riding a bike and fell off once and said, I guess bikes just don't work. It's an actual
Right.
skill to
Right.
developing it.
Bike's broken.
Yeah.
All bikes are
Bike's
broken.
broken.
Yep.
I
Screw
love
bikes.
it. Bikes are done.
Yep.
They're over. So can you talk a little bit about what do you see on the horizon in terms of future use for AI and developments that you see? How is that going to start impacting the land investing business?
Yeah, my projects I'm working on right now are exactly what Netta just asked of really having an AI texting conversation. So when they text back, maybe it's from launch control, you push them right into the AI SMS and then they book a call. And I shouldn't say it's every part of the business, right? Because having a human being getting on a call with a qualified lead, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure at some point there'll be something, but we're a long ways out from that. So the goal of AI is to qualify the lead, get them to raise their hand, they're interested in, and then right away get them to a qualified individual to have that phone conversation. So I'm working on AI SMS, I'm working on AI email so that the AI is emailing back and forth with them. And it's not templates, it is a prompt. So the AI knows its job. I've given it has the transcript of a lot of the training videos I've given my VAs for texting, so it knows its job. If you're a VA on the call, one of the things you're going to want to get really good at is the comping skill set, the skill set of getting on the phone and having that conversation. I think that texting back and forth is going to be pretty quickly taken over by AI. And then, of course, the AI calling for inbound leads. Yeah. So I finally have my AI calling up for inbound. I'm doing a little bit outbound, and that's been really good. It's just very basic. It's, hey, are you open? Are you interested? We love the property. We're interested. Are you open? I'd love to transfer you. And we're doing live transfers. So it's not even, it's like only transfer you over to our property specialist. So getting them off that AI call and into a human's hands. And then I think over time, I don't even watch like the Google stuff because I'm like, I don't care what's coming in 6 months. I want to know what's happening right now because I'm not a big waiter. I'm not really good at patience. But I do see in the future, what will come is that integration with Google Earth. And we will actually be able to ask questions about road access, water views, contour lines, topography. That will all be real time questions that we can ask GPT or Gemini, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, that is so cool. So we've talked a little bit about using AI in your land business and your personal life. What are some new tools that you're seeing in the AI space that you are just so excited about, that you are just like, this is incredible? It can be about business, it can be about life, but what are you seeing that you are most excited about right now?
Yeah. So actually, somebody just posted in the chat. Have you heard of what is the name of the Bardeen? So Bardeen, Bardeen, is an example of what's coming, which is called an AI agent. What we will be able to do is we'll be able to train our computers. Let's say every time, let me give an example of comping. This is going to be high level comping, but let's say part of the inbound lead process is I want to find 3 comps that are within 10 miles that are within percentage acreage of the property that I'm looking at because we have the lat long. You'll be able to train an agent to actually do the clicks on your computer automated. So you'll be able to train it to go to Zillow.com, put the whatever lat long address into Zillow, go to the area, navigate to where the property is, search the acreage increment that you told it to. You'll be watching your mouse move on your computer and it will do it. It'll find the comps, it'll copy and it'll paste it to the URL to the place that you need it to go. So you need to go back into follow up boss, you need to put it here. And it's going to have some breathing room too. So it's going to be able to think logically. Oh, I can't find that person in follow up boss. Maybe I could look them up by the APN that was in launch control because it's able to logically process that. I think we're maybe 6 months or a year out from that, which is crazy. That's not that much time, but that is going to be the next thing for those really repeatable things that are pretty much the same every single time, like pulling a list in Land Vision. No one on my team will ever do that again because I will just feed it like I want this county, 2+ acres, go. And it already knows my parameters. It'll do the clicking and the exporting for me.
Gosh, it's like the Jetsons. It's remarkable. So cool. So
I
cool.
know.
So, for land investors that are new to AI, what first steps would you recommend? It sounds like there's this huge ocean out there. Where do we start?
You should definitely watch my masterclass that I did last week. I think that's a great starting point. I honestly, it's like with anything, YouTube University, right? The amount of content on YouTube about AI is unbelievable. Just start doing some basic like prompting 101 or ChatGPT 101 or examples of using ChatGPT for life, examples of using ChatGPT for real estate. Like just put some of that stuff into YouTube, maybe 15, 20 minutes a day, get on a treadmill and just pop your little iPad up and you just start to soak some of this information in. That will be really helpful. And then, of course, I'm doing an 8-week boot camp in June that is going to be unbelievable. Even for me, unbelievable. I have some amazing people coming on to do some coaching and obviously myself too. But you need to get involved. You need to get involved in doing something. YouTube, of course, I'm very visual, so I like to see it being done. But there's a ton of different free courses out there too. Just, you got to start watching it. Just got to start watching it being done.
Yeah, so good. Can you talk to us a little bit about that 8-week boot camp that you mentioned?
I sure can. So we are starting Thursday, June 13th. We're going to meet for 8 sessions, about an hour and 15 minutes. I created this because I think that part of AI is learning a skill set, and part of it is accountability. So, of course, when you join it, you get access to my prompt library, all the things. We're going to do AI foundations. I'm going to coach for about 30, 45 minutes, and then we work on our own prompts for about 30 minutes. AI coaches will be there. I will be there. We'll be workshopping. This is what I'm building right now. I'm stuck. I'm having issues. Because by the end of the 8 weeks, my goal is that every single person has a prompt library that they have on their own that's built for their own business. So we're going to do foundations of AI. We'll do superhuman lead gen week 2. So really talking about how the heck, like you said, how the heck are you doing this mass personalization of marketing, content creation? We're going to be really diving into that. We're no more Keens and Bespokes, chatbots, voice AI. We'll do that. Life hacks, Ps, and then hiring and talent management. And then Zapier and ChatGPT will be our final week. But again, it's going to be community where, hey, I'm having an issue, jump on a 15-minute call with an AI coach, get the prompts. But a lot of it is they're going to have you share screen. They're not going to build it for you. This is, you need to figure out how to build your own prompts. We're very big on teaching people how to fish, and that's going to be the theme.
That is so cool. And what are the dates for that again?
Yep, we start Thursday, June 13th, and I will pop this in the chat. And if you guys do end up signing up for this, when you sign up, there is a little spot that says, how did you hear about this? Please put Kendall's name in that link, because I need to take him on a trip if somebody signs up. Or you can just come up and hang out with me, Kendall.
Oh, anytime. I don't even need an excuse. Oh, it's Tuesday. I'm going to hang out with
Let's
Callan.
go.
If you're listening to this and you want to watch Callan's masterclass that she recently did, she mentioned a little bit earlier, if you want to sign up, you can go to the link startwithcallan.com. You can get all of the information there as well. We'll pop that link in the chat. We'll also have that in the show notes, in the show description. Callan, what's the most important thing you want people listening to this to remember about AI in this conversation once this podcast ends?
I want you to know that you can do it. Everyone on this call, my mom is an example. She is 65. She is literally using ChatGPT every single day for everything. I'm pretty sure she used it to write my birthday card, and we need to work on her content, but that's fine. At least it was a thought that counts. Mom, if you're watching, it was a very sweet card. I could tell you put it in a ChatGPT a little bit. That's okay. It is for everybody. This is not, oh my God. When we think of AI, we think of like these machines and just this crazy. I think of like crypto. Crypto is actually, I don't really understand. AI is like, we can understand this. We are training machines to think like humans. And I think we have it perfectly said here in the chat. I don't want this to be a fear thing, but Mark Cuban said AI, if you don't understand it and learn it, you have to understand it and learn it, because otherwise you're going to be a dinosaur within 3 years. It is not overly complicated. It just takes practice. And so that's what I am going to encourage you. Everyone on this call, if you don't have ChatGPT downloaded, get it on your phone, get it downloaded, get it on your computer, save it, and just start logging in every time you're thinking of doing something. Oh, it's my nephew's birthday. What should I get my nephew? He's 4 years old. He loves Pokemon. He's very interactive. He has a short attention span. What would be a great gift for him? He loves toys. I'm trying to spend 75 to $100. That is, again, Google search on steroids. So just start slowing down, thinking about the things that you're doing, and just have it pass through that filter. Could I use ChatGPT for this? Start playing around with it.
So good. Callan, thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time and your information. What resources or connections are you currently looking for right now that anyone listening to this can help you with?
Oh my gosh, you're amazing, Kendall. I'm switching my okay, what do I really need? Last time I did this, I got a seven-figure deal introduction to a broker in Florida that is a multifamily broker. Have I told you this?
No, the last time you did what?
Last time you asked me, what do I need? And I threw it out there that I needed, if anyone knows any multifamily developers that want to develop in Tampa, because we had this site. This guy DMs me on Instagram and I'm a multifamily broker. I know every single multifamily developer in Florida. We got a signed purchase agreement with the senior living facility, and they are buying our multifamily development because of you. So I really should take you on a trip, honestly.
Yes, I love that. That's amazing.
This is real now. So thank you, Kendall. You are unbelievable.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You deserve all of that and more. Did you say that's a seven-figure deal?
Yeah, it was agricultural. We rezoned it to multifamily. And the coolest thing about it is we still have it under contract and we have the purchase agreement signed with the senior living facility. They're paying for the remainder of the entitlement. So we paid about 75, 100K for the rezone to get done, which was the public hearing. And it was brutal, but we did get that approved. And then now they're paying for site plan, construction drawings, and my contract with the seller says I don't close until construction drawings are approved. So I've bought myself like this huge runway. We may need to close for 2 or 3 months. And by that time, the construction drawings have already been approved. So the risk is so low for my investors. So that's a hot tip for anyone doing entitlement deals. You close with your seller when the construction drawings are approved, and that will buy you more time with the buyer.
So good. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. So what are you looking for now? What other seven figures can we add to you now?
Oh my God. Honestly, we're moving a little bit more into North Carolina. So if you guys have builders that are looking for subdivides in North Carolina, we've got a couple things in our pipeline. So toss it out there. If you guys know anyone, happy to do a finder's fee, sales fee. We can go to Italy together. We can talk AI. Let me know.
Yes, I love it. I love that. All right. Thank you guys so much. Callan, again, you were just absolutely incredible. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, be safe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for being here.
If you're interested in hearing from other seven-figure land flippers about how they've started and run their businesses, then join us at onlylandfans.com. Looking forward to seeing you there.